Something a little different this week. Baked goods. No, I have not switched to reviewing croissants. There's a transportation story in every business. I'm at Macrina Bakery in Kent, Washington, and if you live in the Seattle area, no doubt you've had some of their goodness. They deliver tens of thousands of products to grocery stores and coffee shops all over the Puget Sound area. Every business is looking to cut costs and increase efficiencies. One way to do it? Electric vehicles. When Macrina started in Seattle's Belltown district as a tiny bakery in 1993, it served a small, discerning clientele. High quality led to high growth. President Scott France says getting this goodness to hundreds of outlets on time means transportation is a key ingredient.
We deliver all of the breads and pastries ourselves, and without our vehicles, we couldn't accomplish our daily job. We have about 24 delivery vans.
France decided to bring on a couple Ford e-Transits, the first fully electrified delivery van available to the mass market. It now starts at around $52,000, a $3,000 premium over V6-powered Transits. The rear-drive EV that offers 266 horsepower and 317 pound-feet of torque shares its motor with F-150 Lightning.
So one of our projects, kind of long-term, is to use less and waste less. And part of that is fossil fuels. So we use a lot of natural gas in the ovens, but for electricity, all of our electricity here at the bakery is on 100% green power. And then last year, we decided that half of our routes with the current kind of ranges that Ford Transits have could be on electric vehicles. So we installed a charger and as a test bought 2 electric Ford vans to see how it would work.
E-Transit was a new concept, and there were concerns, things like range and charging.
The delivery drivers are generally working from midnight until 8 in the morning, maybe 9 in the morning. And so we have all day and into the evening to charge the van. So when they come at midnight or 1 or 2 in the morning, the vans are fully charged. Our routes that they're on are generally 50 miles or less.
Logan Bice is a veteran driver. Like all the delivery staff at Macrina, he was used to petrol power. He's driven the entire fleet.
I started out in their old Dodge. It was pretty run down by the time I got to it. They had about over 100,000 miles at that point. That's when I first started here. I've driven the Mercedes as well. And then I've driven our older Transit Fords, and I moved on to these electrics.
Logan admits he had concerns when the e-Transits were first put into service, mainly range, especially when the temperatures drop. The e-Transits that Macrina bought have a 68 kilowatt-hour lithium-ion pack with an EPA estimated range of 126 miles, at least when it's warmer.
The colder months, it seems to be around 20, 25-ish degrees. You notice about a 20 mile per hour or a 20 mile loss in the power.
And that has hampered operations.
When we hit 20-degree weather for a week, I think this was in maybe January, we saw significant range reduction, so much so that at least on one day the van had to come back to the bakery to switch to a conventional van for the rest of their route. Now, they were only at the airport, which is 10 minutes away, so it didn't cause any kind of delivery problems, but a week at 22, 23, 24 was pretty significant, and the driver was concerned they wouldn't be able to get back at the end of the route.
It should help that Ford has introduced a longer-range e-Transit rated at 159 miles with an 89 kilowatt-hour pack. Ford's not the only game in town. Mercedes recently introduced the eSpinter with up to 210 miles of range. General Motors has the Bright Drop Zevo, good for as high as 270. And of course, Amazon is delivering the goods in Rivian vans. There are some clear advantages by going electric. Okay, so you're in drive, but
If you get up off the seat, automatically puts it in the park. It's actually kind of a safety thing. We actually had a driver that was in a gas-powered vehicle get up out of the seat and actually wasn't in a park, it coasted into another van. That can't happen in these electrics. Okay, in a gas-powered vehicle you have to shift. In Mercedes it's shifting the knob up or down or forward or reverse. In the electric vehicles it's just a simple turn of the knob, and you're in gear. So, simple turn, and you're in park.
There's less vibration in EVs, noticeable when spending a full shift delivering the goods.
Well, we're slowly seeing some of our fuel costs come down, right? We have a company that comes and fills up all of our conventional vans with gasoline 3 times a week. So taking 2 of the vans off that process saves us money on fuel. There was some concern by the drivers earlier at the beginning. They really like the electric vans now. Some of them had never driven an electric vehicle. They had heard that it's different, and so they weren't sure how it would feel to drive. But the biggest one was, well, what happens if something goes wrong with the battery? How do I get back to the bakery? And our comment was, it's the same as if something goes wrong with one of our regular vans. You call for help, and we'll send someone out, and if we have to tow it, we'll tow it. Like, there's no real difference from that perspective.
Given the choice, what would Logan drive?
Definitely the electric. I've been driving it the most, and I do enjoy the pickup and go, but I also enjoy the electric heat. It actually heats up really fast, and the air conditioning is wonderful as well. So it has some wonderful features, but definitely electric all the time. The electric is very smooth, really, and gas-powered vehicles definitely tend to be a little more rough than the electric. More vibration. You notice the shifting more as well.
Smart businesses are always trying to save money, whatever they're delivering. Vans with smaller packs that are less expensive can be placed on short routes. Dedicate the pricier trucks with larger packs to longer runs.
For sure, it's less expensive. I haven't done the calculation for a while, but I think it's somewhere around 1/4 to 1/3 of the cost in terms of electricity versus gasoline going in.
EVs are typically much easier on brake pads because of regenerative braking. There are no oil changes that pull vehicles out of service.
I don't know about repairs and maintenance yet. So we'll see. We'll know more of that over the next kind of 2 to 3 years. We're hoping to get 200, maybe 250,000 miles out of our delivery vans. And so the big test will be whether these can go 200,000 miles. They're a little bit more expensive than conventional, but if they can, it'll be well worth it.
For now, the folks at Macrina feel electrifying the fleet is doing what it's supposed to do, reducing fuel and maintenance costs. And the company likes that there are no emissions.
We are good with this. Like, we have, in our fleet, we have Mercedes Sprinters, Ford Transits, and a few Ram ProMasters. We really like the Ford Transits. We were a little concerned that the electric Ford Transit wouldn't be the same or wouldn't be as good, but so far it's been great. Once you drive an electric vehicle and you don't have to hit the brake and you drive it appropriately, you're just gas on and then the regenerative braking works, it's great. It's fun.
Everything that Scott and Logan talked about would apply to the electric vehicle that you might buy. EVs are not for everyone just yet. I like to say you need to charge where you sleep for the best electric vehicle experience, but they work really well for a lot of people, so check them out. Thanks for watching. Hey, remember to subscribe to this channel, click notifications, follow me on social media. If you have a question, leave it in the comments, and as always, thanks for your support. That's Driven. I'm Tom Volk.